Hi, everybody. As is often the case during moments of crisis, during World War I, both here and in Europe, goods that were normally available without a problem suddenly became scarce. By 1917, in Europe, there was a real shortage of linen, and so governments started imposing quotas over how much linen could be used in various products. This became of particular concern to the Jewish community because of our traditional use of linen to make burial shrouds. And so 102 years ago today, in the community of Salonika, following many other communities across the continent, the government asked that the Jews no longer use linen in burial shrouds, but rather replace them with paper shrouds. We are unfortunately today becoming more familiar with the idea of scarcity. Anyone who's gone shopping in recent days may have noticed that there is a shortage of flour in the stores, lots of empty shelves. We're also becoming used to the idea of changes in funeral practices. This has been very difficult for many members of our community, and certainly difficult for myself as a rabbi. Not being able to meet with a family in person ahead of time, being limited to 10 people at the graveside and 30 minutes to conduct an entire service makes a rabbi's job difficult and makes mourning all the more so difficult. But of course we have the idea of dina de malchuta dina, that the law of the land is the law. And we respect and understand the limited number of people that we're allowed to have at a funeral. And so in moments like this, we can't just look at what does the halacha say, what does the Jewish law say, because it can't always be played out in the way that we want it. But rather we have to look at the overriding values that we try to express at challenging moments such as a death. And there are two values here that I want to speak about just briefly. The first is the value of Kvod HaMet, of honor to the person, to the individual who has passed away. Often we express Kvod HaMet by sharing words of hesped, words of eulogy, in which we speak of the person who passed away's wonderful qualities. But of course, in moments like this, we can't speak for so long. And often we have large funerals. People come to show their respect. And in moments such as these, we can't do that. And so we have to consider for ourselves what today, because we can't do the normal things for Kvod HaMet, what can we do? How can we honor those who passed away in new ways? Well, we can give tzedakah. We can perform acts of chesed in their memory. Certainly, if you knew the individual, you can come up with something that will elevate his or her neshama, his or her soul. The other idea we have during a time of death is Nichum Aveilim, providing comfort for those who are bereaved. Of course, normally we do that by visiting a shiva, something we can't do today. And so it's all the more important to reach out, to call, try to FaceTime or Zoom. And if you normally spend 10 minutes driving there and 10 minutes driving back and 30 minutes at a shiva, think how you can spend 50 minutes when a friend or loved one is sitting shiva and do something kind for them. I can't imagine what it would be like to be mourning, perhaps even alone. It is upon our community to do whatever we can to provide comfort for those who are bereaved. Kvod HaMet, Nichum Aveilim. Honoring the deceased and providing comfort for those who are bereaved. Those are our two overarching themes that we have when a community member passes away. And I hope that those values continue to guide us at this challenging moment.